triangles from the side control and from the mount, and we're going to start with the 5 basic positions of side control for a drill. I'm going to be here, she's going to have some frames, and we're going to start out with 100 kilos. I'm going to have a cross face here, I'm going to be blocking the hip, I'm going to be low. From this position, I'm not high on top of her, my chest is to the side of her ribs and my hips are low. Next, this arm's going to come under. Hook under the elbow, cup the shoulder, switch my hips, I grab down at her elbow, and I pull it up. I don't pull it up with my arm, I'm pulling it up with my hip motion. I pull everything up, I sit her on my thigh. From here, this hand goes under the head, my left knee steps to the outside of my left elbow, and I go to the head and arm position. Now, cup the shoulder, go around the head, block the hip. Now I'm in reverse Kesakatami. My hips are high towards her head. I'm blocking her hip and I'm trapping the arm. Now I'm going to move my hips back. I'm going to drive her shoulder into her face so it's uncomfortable. Pick my hips up, she's going to remove it. She's not going to keep that there. Now we're in north-south. Once we get to north-south, I block the hip. My head switches to the other side. I go wide with this arm. Now we're back in 100 kilos. When you're rolling, if you get this all the way here, like that was, we're going to start looking at different stuff. We'll attack the neck. Most people, when you do this, your partner's got to bring their hand back up. And that's what you're going to do when you roll too, because if you leave that arm down, you'll get submitted. Right, so we're back. Here, 100 kilos. Kesakatami. Head and arm. Reverse Kesakatami. North-south. 100 kilos. And so on. Warm-ups, we're just going to work on some movement and getting his elbow away from his body. If I got side control and we're doing everything right, his elbows are going to be tight and he's going to be here. I'm going to get head control. My middle finger goes to the armpit. I drive my shoulder into his face. I can start this over here. I can grab the leg. I can block the leg, however I want to do it. But I'm going to walk my hips towards his feet. I'm going to roll him on his side as I come here. Then I'm going to turn my hips towards his feet even more. Then I'm going to drive my hips back to get his elbow away from his body. Now that I've got his elbow away from his body, I underhook, I come over, and I sit to Kesakatami. One more time from the other angle. We'll be right here. Nope, stay right there, you dummy. Right? So you're going to see my butt. They want to see my butt, because they want to see what my butt's going to do. Here, here, right, I can block, grab his hip, drive over, using my hips to roll his hips away. Now I've freed up a little pocket right under his elbow. Here, I'm going to get my hip in between us. I'm going to drive my hip to get his elbow away from his body. Cup, grab the armpit, sit through, set him on my leg. And this is where we'll start our attacks.
Alright, we're doing the cold cut combo from Queso Salami here. So, just starting here, attacking the arm, key lock, he straightens it, chase it, and put your hips on the shoulder and your head on the hand for the straight arm bar, and then he bends it down. You're going to switch your arms, put his hand on the mat and your elbow on the mat, turn your hips, and finish the Kimura.
So we're going to do an arm bar from Keslo Yomami. First I'm going to start with our warm-up drill. Cross face, finger in the armpit. I'm going to block the knee. I can grab the hip and drive him over as I do this. Dealer's choice. Walk my hips towards his feet. Use my knee to turn him away a little bit. I free up his elbow. I've got to get my ribs and my hips on the other side of his elbow. Then I'm going to drive my hips back to peel that elbow away from his body. Hook. Hit the armpit. pull and switch. If he keeps this in like this, I'm gonna hold this position real good. I'm gonna bring my palm to my chest, swim to the inside, grab the elbow. Grab the armpit, grab the elbow. Pulling up on the gi. This hand is gonna come to the inside. Grab his gear, punch it into his armpit. This foot comes in a little bit. I'm gonna drag my hips back as I bring myself a tiny bit that way, not too much. Remember, pushing right here. My knee slices in there. I pinch my knees together and I sit back for the armbar. Really pushing here. If he's getting real squirrely and coming up, I step over the head. Keslo Yo Mommy. Alright guys, now we're going to do a north-south choke from Kaser Katamer that can also turn into a Bravoa choke or a Darce choke. I'm going to be in this position, Kaser Katamer. I'm pulling, my ribs are heavy, I'm pulling up here. Okay, I'm going to take this hand, I'm going to come. I'm going to loop this around his head and his neck as I step. I'm driving with my hips, I come around his head. This hand lets go of this. I block his hip, I shift my body to the side because I really want to get my bicep in his neck and my ribs up high in his armpit. I shift, I pack, I shift. Now that I'm in this position, I sink my weight. Sometimes we'll get to this position and I'm not tapping him from here. I'm going to use my hips to drive. I'm going to block his shoulder. We'll show this, actually, let's turn. I'm tight, I'm blocking. I'm going to drive with my hips, cup the head, get him on his side, take this hand, tap the shoulder, get my Darce grip. If it's gi, pass, get my Bravoa grip, and we all know the finish for both of those. Kaser Katamer. Alright guys, we're back here in Ken's Origami. I've got him loaded up on my thigh, real heavy, rib to rib, making his face red. Okay, we're going to do a really dumb key lock from here that doesn't work unless you're way bigger than the guy, but we're going to show it because everybody shows it. I'm going to attack his wrist, I'm going to push his arm down, then I step my leg over and hook. Now I just bring my heel to the mat, right? We're here, Keser, you're bommy, and I'm doing this key lock with my legs. It doesn't really work, but we're showing it. Os.
Alright, so we're going to attack the cold cut combo from Queso Somali. So we're coming in here.
Start it over.